Although it seems like a contradiction, rangeland managers are actually burning the fields to help them. The use of fire is not a new technique. Native Americans used to burn the brush and chaparral, leaving open space for grass that would attract large game.
Grasses evolved with both grazing and fire, disturbances that periodically moved through the grassland. So fire would be a healthy thing for this particular grassland right now. You can see that grazing has taken down a lot of the thatch in these larger bunch grasses, but down in between the bunch grasses we're getting a lot of thatch. This thatch gets so thick that forbs, here's a little iris coming up here in the front, actually get covered over and they can't get up through it. So a fire would come through here and it would open up spaces between the bunch grasses so that the wildflowers, the forbs, would reproduce and come back nicely.
California is investing in environmental restoration at many sites throughout the state. The most significant in terms of size is the 100-mile-long corridor along the Sacramento River from Colusa to Red Bluff. In the past, where the river has been channelized, its banks denuded, and the surrounding floodplain put under cultivation, many segments are now being restored to a more natural state. Planting native grasses is a critical part of the restoration effort.
Oh yeah, this is major competition. So you got to do something, so that's why John's recommending burning to sort of open it up. The native grasses that are going to provide the habitat for the native species of wildlife. The bromes, the oats, the wild foxtails, those are not native plants, and they are very aggressive and elbow out, shade out the native species. Many of the grassland birds, especially meadowlarks or horned larks, they require very different habitats, but all within the grassland.
While they could be at the movies or mall, instead, these high school students are spending their weekend learning how to restore an old agricultural field back to its original condition as native habitat.
We have a refuge here that's about 26,000 acres in size, and over half of it is native grasslands. This refuge represents some of the best native grasslands left in this part of the state. We're trying to supply wildlife habitat, and we're trying to actually bring back some of the vegetative conditions that were always here.
Working with high school students to restore native grasses to this San Luis refuge is a valuable part of the California Native Grass Association's mission statement. And I can't think of a better opportunity than the one we have here with these young Californians who are restoring it as part of their formal educational program at their respective high schools.
A very exciting part of this particular job is the results to come out here and see what you've done for the environment.
The hills east of Oakland are important open space and serve as a watershed for the entire San Francisco Bay Area. It is also a place where you can spot a golden eagle soaring in the pale blue sky on a summer's day. At this time of year, the largest concentration of goldens in the country gather here to nest and hatch chicks. Not many people in the area know this. Fewer still know why.
We are in the Ohlone Regional Wilderness, which is part of a huge rangeland that occurs in the East Bay. And in this area, we have got the highest concentration of nesting golden eagles anywhere in the world, because golden eagles occur in grasslands, and grasslands support ground squirrel populations. Very precise combination of prey in the proper habitat, supporting a great predator.
Our grasslands, then, are essential to the survival of species as diverse as eagles and ground squirrels. Our native grasses take the matter of biological diversity even further. Many plant and animal species co-evolve with our native grasses and are dependent upon them for survival. Non-native plants aren't the only threats to our native grasses and living communities. ill-considered development can permanently impact the landscape. What may look like an empty field perfect for a building site is not really empty at all. It is in fact a natural community made up of plants, animals, insects. There are places to build and ways to build that will minimize the impact to these natural communities. The California Native Grass Association helps land managers, homeowners, builders, and agencies with information and methods that protect and propagate our native grasses and grasslands. Their demonstration sites and projects show how open space, parks and recreation fields, and grazing lands can be planted in native grasses, as can our roadsides and canal banks. Homeowners can learn how grasses can be used as decorative flourishes and for entire drought-tolerant gardens. Developers can meet open space and environmental requirements with native grasses instead of high-maintenance non-native annuals. And landowners can learn how native grasses can make a working landscape more productive to their commercial operations as well as wildlife.
We can't turn the clock back to the time when only native grasses populated our California landscape. But what we can do is understand and appreciate the unique qualities and value of our native grasses. California native grasses are an important part of our natural heritage, worth protecting, preserving, and enhancing. Finding a patch to flop down in or play on may be the best way to start. Amen.